let me quickly go over the solution to the exam. Okay, the first question is the square root function, which you already did in one of the homework problems. The only difference here is that you have to round before you return. So you have to round the square root value to 3 decimal places. And then if it is a negative number, you add an I, which you already did. And then you create a range like this and run through the for loop. And you can do it in a couple of different ways. So I just did it in one way. So this is straight out of the homework, with only difference being that you have to round it right here. Okay? Question number 2, now you have to import the needed functions from date time, and then you have to do a list comprehension. So you have to iterate over that list. Okay, that list has dates in string. So you iterate over that, but then the date string needs to be converted to date time object. So you use str p time, parse time, okay, and then use the appropriate code. That will change the date time to a higher date to, the objects of the higher date now will be date time object. Okay, so that's A, and then in B you zip all the 3 together and you iterate over the zipped object. Now you have to check, so your raise is 2.5%, but if the number of years is greater than or equal to 5, then it is 5%. So you need to take, so here you're enumerating over the zipped object, and there are 3 of them. So X will be names, Y will be wage, and Z will be the higher date. So that's a date object. So Z dot year will give you the year part of that date object. So 2022 minus the year part, so that's going to give you the number of years completed. And if that is greater than or equal to 5, then the raise is 5% or 0.05. Okay, and then you print it. Okay, so here you need to use, for raise, you have to use the percentage function. And for new wages, you have to multiply the wage, current wage is Y times R. I'm sorry, 1 plus R times Y. And then you print that. Okay? So you do a list comprehension to change the string values into date values, zip the 3 objects, and then do an enumerate. Okay? All right. Number 3, okay, so you have a bunch of numbers with a couple of nones there. So again, you have to do a list comprehension. You can do this in a couple of different ways. Some of you have done it in slightly different way, which is fine. So you check for type of the data type. If the data type is numerical, then that's fine. So now this will skip over. The condition is that if X is not none, so nones will be thrown out. So you'll only have the numbers, and then you do a set. And again, this is something that we did in a homework. The only thing is in C, you have to do a dictionary comprehension where you iterate over the set, so you'll have the unique values, and then you count how many of those unique values you have in the L3 num list. So that will give you the dictionary, and then you have to iterate over the dictionary to print the frequencies. Okay, so you iterate over the keys, and then you do the key is going to give you the number, and then you use the key in the dictionary to get the frequencies out. Okay, and then the last question is, so it's a 5 by 6 matrix or ND array. So you have, most people got this right. So the question D is you want the mean, right, for each column. So it has to be by row. You have to go like this. So x is equal to 0 and number of values, negative values here for each row. So that means you have to go across the columns in each row. So axis should be equal to 1. And then your standard deviation, you want sample standard deviation, so you have to do dd of equal to 1. Okay. Any questions?